Today I am at a brand new park in Miami Beach called Bayshore Park. This park has been under construction for the past couple of years, and it's nice to come home to have this place open. And it is massive. I'm probably gonna have to come here several times in order to walk through this park. And I'm so glad this is here. And it's nice to see some of your high amount of tax dollars go to good use for a change. So feels really good to see this and be a part of this community. And today I want to talk about the job market. We have to keep talking about the job market because things are moving at the speed of light with the job market, especially if you're somebody who's worried about losing a job or you already have lost one and you're looking for a new job. Times are tough, guys. There's no getting around that. And Daymond John, who is one of the Shark Tank investors, also the founder of the company Fubo, he recently stepped forward and said that most jobs are going to go away. What does that mean? Does that mean that most people are going to be out of a job? Well, let's take a look at what he means by this. Basically, he's talking about people who fail to adapt to the new world that we're in with AI and the type of jobs that are in demand. You are going to be left behind. What Daymond John is saying is that the trades are on the rise right now and the white collar office worker is on the decline. And that tracks exactly with what we've been seeing with the type of layoffs that are happening in the job market today. And basically the message is adapt or get left behind. Workers who don't evolve their skills right now or how they show up in the job market are going to struggle more and more. And obviously the labor market is nowhere near as strong as all the headlines and the Fed has even been suggesting. Only recently, they're really starting to take serious notice of how weak the job market actually is, and that's the excuse for their interest rate cuts. But for years, we've been hearing how resilient the labor market is, blah, 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 but people are not feeling that. And ADP, they reported employment grew by 42,000 jobs in October. And, hiring is happening on a small scale, but small scale is the key word. It's not like it is abundant and everybody's getting the job who's out there looking for one. In fact, it couldn't really be further from the truth. According to Oxford Economics, small businesses, which account for 40% of all employment in this country, are the ones who are struggling the most. And no one really talks about that. The tariffs are crushing the small businesses for the most part, and a lot of them already operate on razor thin margins. If they raise their prices too much, they run the risk of losing a lot of their customers, which is exactly what's happening, unfortunately. So naturally, small businesses and really all businesses alike are trying to cut costs as much as possible by sourcing cheaper materials or from different countries, downsizing their staff, which is the biggest thing we've seen companies doing so far this year. They're also delaying expansions, and in some cases, they are shutting down entirely. I don't know how many times I have gotten emails from you guys who send me local news stories about 100 jobs being lost here, another 250 jobs being lost there, another 300 jobs being lost here and there. Like, it all adds up. And the other thing that we're seeing happening in the job market in general is corporate America is winning and Main Street is losing. Firms with 500 plus employees are still adding some jobs, but they are also responsible for the largest layoffs. The most recent one this week was Verizon, which we'll talk about later in this video. Over 20,000 jobs going to be lost basically immediately. And I don't think anybody can say that it's a good idea to have all the small businesses get left behind while all the major corporations succeed. That's a recipe for disaster in America. A lot of economists are already talking about how the bottom half of household earners in this country are already in recession. These families are dealing with things like insecurity about their future income, rising credit card debt, difficulty paying essential bills, and fears of losing their job. So according to Daymond John, he says that even if you're a plumber, people need to know about your services, meaning that no matter what trade or business you're in, you need to make sure everybody knows it and you are top of mind when somebody needs that service. That's something that we were always taught as real estate agents. Like, yep, you need to make sure everybody that you know in your sphere is well aware of what you do for a living. You know, they said never want to be a secret agent. You're not 007. You want to be as public as possible. And that couldn't be more true, because otherwise people don't know and they don't think of you when they need to buy or sell a house. And speaking of buying or selling a house, make sure if anybody needs that service, I offer it 100% free. I have a link for it down in the description all the time. You guys can use it for buying or selling anywhere in the United States, and it's 100% free to use. And if you do use it, it helps the channel. How cool is this? Like all these little garden areas they have here. This is just so nice. And when it comes to workers, people who have a job right now, one of the warnings that Daymond John gives is, listen, people who learn how to use all the new AI tools and build direct relationships with customers will be the ones who come out on top. And people who cling to the old ways of doing things are going to be replaced by automation or have their labor outsourced or be beat out by the competition. One of his top pieces of advice are, you can't wait for the perfect time. You have to make the perfect effort right now. Meaning that the job market is evolving extremely fast and everybody risks getting left behind if you don't stay on top of your skills and opportunities that are available. So bottom line is, you know, traditional jobs are disappearing unless you're looking at the trades. And that's probably one of the best things to get into right now are the trades, because it's something that cannot be easily replaced by AI. In fact, some recent data suggests that a lot of young people are looking into getting into the trades, already trying to get ahead of that and saying, forget about the college degree.